Zoning docket 4818, 2005 North Broad LLC, requesting a conditional use to permit a standard restaurant with live entertainment, secondary use, and extended hours of operation between 12 p.m. and 4 a.m. on Thursdays through Saturdays, between 12 p.m. and 2 a.m. on Sundays through Wednesdays, in an MU1 medium intensity mixed-use district and an EC Enhanced Corridor Design Overlay District on Square 1539, lots 1 and 2 in the 3rd Municipal District, bounded by North Broad Street, Bruxell Street, and Dual Street. Municipal address 2005 North Broad Street. The recommendation of the City Planning Commission being no legal majority.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. Mr. Crow.
Thank you, Council Member. This is an application for property at on North Broad Street at Bruxelles. It's an entertainment venue that has operated, and it's really a two-part application. So the use is a restaurant. There's a proposal, number one, to allow it longer hours than are normally allowed. So normally restaurants are allowed to operate to 10 p.m. on weeknights, midnight on weekends. The proposal here is to allow this restaurant to operate to 2 a.m. on weekdays and 4 a.m. on weekends. And then secondly, there is a request for live entertainment secondary use. So in addition to serving meals and drinks and whatnot, people could listen to performances while they eat. So it's a two-part application. At the public hearing before the Planning Commission, there was a significant level of opposition expressed by neighborhood residents. This is on Broad, which is a mixed-use corridor, but it's also flanked by residential areas on both sides, and there's a certain degree of friction between the operational characteristics that there have been to date at this restaurant and the residential concerns of the neighbors. And so, based on the opposition that was expressed, the Planning Commission was divided on the application. Some of the commissioners felt that there are examples on Broad and throughout the city of restaurants and other venues that are close to residences and operate well into the night, and because they're well managed, that's not a problem. On the other hand, some commissioners felt that the intensity of this type of live entertainment operation so close to residential uses is inherently problematic. It really can't be managed through appropriate management or provisos, and so the Planning Commission was split. It comes to you as the council with no recommendation from the City Planning Commission.
Thank you, Mr. Crow. Mr. Acting President.
Yes. Councilmember Brissett, you want to make a motion at this time, and then I'm going to remind everybody 5 per side for support or opposition per the council rules. Do you have your motion ready about how you want to handle it?
Yeah. So the property located at 2005 North Broad Street is an existing restaurant, and this request is for a conditional use to permit a standard restaurant with live entertainment and extended hours of operation. Broad has always had a history of balancing mixed uses. If you drive down Broad Street, you'll see restaurants, stores, financial institutions, social clubs next to or surrounding residential neighborhoods. In this case, the property is near the corner of a busy intersection, St. Bernard and Broad. It's adjacent to 2 clubs and a corner store. It's also across the street from a gas station and a fast food restaurant. To be clear, this property is located in a medium intensity mixed use district. It's also near neighborhoods. So finding the right balance is key, and that's what has to happen in this case. With that, I move to approve the conditional use permit, a standard restaurant with live entertainment, but deny the request for increased hours, operating hours, subject to the provisos recommended by CPC staff, with the following modifications. Proviso 7E, Section E, Section I, and Section II, limiting the restaurant hours to Sunday through Wednesday from 12 to 10 p.m. and Thursday through Saturday from 12 p.m. to 12 a.m. Proviso 8, Section H, limiting the hours for live entertainment to Thursday through Sunday from 12 to 12. With that, I move adoption. I have a second. Councilmember Banks, and now we'll go to public comment. Ms. Vicky Lena, cede time to Chris Draper.
Sir, do you have a comment card in too?
Yes, I do.
All right, so you'll have 5 minutes total.
Thanks very much.
Because you ceded this time to him.
My name is Chris Draper. I live at 2656 Bruxelles Street. I'm one of 9 residences within 100 feet of Brandys Bar. When I moved into the neighbourhood, Brandys Bar was not open. It was a closed business, and the building had been foreclosed and then subsequently resold. Our neighbourhood was on the mend. We were seeing houses that were vacant becoming occupied, and families were moving in. When Brandys opened in November of 2017, not long afterwards, our residency dropped down to 4 residents out of 9 residences. So we lost 4 families that had kids that could not deal with the noise and the crime and the trash and the parking and everything else that went with it. Based on Councillor Members Brossett's recommendation to keep the hours within the permissible 10 p.m. and then 12 p.m. on the weekends, I don't have a problem with that, because if there is noise, at least after midnight, hopefully I can get to sleep. And that was the problem that we experienced for the first 2 months.
That's what you need to do.
Sir, ma'am, sir, please don't speak. Sir, if you have a comment card, we will get to you. Please let the gentleman speak uninterrupted. Sir, please continue.
Thank you. I will say this. The bar has not been a good influence on our neighbourhood. We have seen a proliferation.
Sir.
Can this continue? The other issues that we've been facing as well is that the party buses. Since Brandy's been open, we've had a number of party buses, party trailers come to her bar and have all the occupants go from the party buses into the bar and in our area. Obviously, we've had more people doing very negative things. We see people urinating in our houses, on our property, beside our cars. We see people that are smoking marijuana in circles on Bruxelles, not on Broad, but right in front of our houses. So with that said and done, I do oppose the original application for conditional use, but would like to see the operation run as a restaurant so that we can all enjoy the property, the business, and share in its success, but not exceed hours that prohibit us to go to sleep at night.
Thank you, sir, for your comments.
Thank you.
Thank you. Stash Koslowski.
Thank you for allowing me to speak, Mr. Councilmember. Thank you for that compromise. That was what we were looking for. The hours were the issue, and I really appreciate it. The music that's being allowed, the live entertainment, that's a part of our city, and that was always fine with us. The volume and the provisos will lend itself to reducing the impact on our neighbors. But I do want to make note once again, separate from this issue, we do have a problem on this corner. We do have a problem in this area of crime. And I would like the council members to consider that moving forward for any other conditional uses or any other variances or anything that may impact our neighborhood in a meaningful way, I would like y'all to consider St. Bernard and Broad Street. So thank you very much. Oh, one more thing. I did buy my house there. I am renovating my house there by myself. I put every dollar I have into that home. I have a 4-year-old daughter. Things change. People are coming in. I'm choosing to raise my family here, and I haven't sought another home elsewhere in another part of town, another parish. And it is my home now. It really is. And I would like to make sure
Sir.
it's my home.
Sir.
He spoke to me.
Sir.
He spoke to me.
Sir. I'm
Sorry
just
about that.
asking.
Thank you.
He spoke to me, Joe.
Sir. I'm just asking you. Sir. You will have, if you have a comment card, we will hear from you. We want to hear from everybody, but we want to maintain decorum too. Thank you.
Ms. Paola Barona? Barona?
Hello. My name is Polly Barona, and I recently bought the double directly across the street from Brandys bar on Brussels Street. I am in the middle of investing my entire savings into this property. I'm troubled by the possibility that I might have made a horrible mistake investing in this area. Since buying this house and going there daily to work on renovations, I have noticed many things that cause me great concern. There's an abundance of trash thrown in front of my house. There is illegal parking in front of my driveway. There are people loitering on my porch and in my driveway smoking, jumping my fence. I even found a guy sleeping on my back porch. One of my neighbors has shown me film footage of people gathering and hanging out in my porch when I'm not there. I don't know how we'll ever be able to rent the other unit, and now the idea of another loud entertainment venue just seems to be more over the top. I wish I had known all these things before I bought this property, but honestly, I thought I was buying a house in a residential neighborhood. This is not a business district. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. All right.
Thank you, Ms. Barona. Now to the supporters, proponents. Mr. Cole, Byron Cole.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, ma'am.
First of all, as I tried to point out in the mayoral election.
Mr. Cole, can I just ask one thing very quickly?
What's the
Please
problem?
state. No problem. Just state.
Byron Cole, 1733 North Durgeon.
Thank you, sir.
I want to point out that all these Europeans transplants in my neighborhood are causing us problems. The real problem in New Orleans is we won't discuss abject poverty and that we're fresh off Jim Crow. My daddy couldn't go in the store, let alone own it. What we need today from you, Joe, Jared, Cindy, Helena, Helena's not here, excuse me, Kristen, Jay, we need to be freed from Ohio. Why everything I want to do in New Orleans, including talk to the ambulance, I got to call Ohio? That's what I want to know. That Arnie Philco ushered all this in. He from Ohio. Please help us remove that, Cindy. We want to talk to New Orleanians and empower New Orleanians when we're talking about New Orleans business. And the height limits downtown are ridiculous. That's why we don't look like Houston and Atlanta, period. We should require them all to come high. And let's give everybody a chance to work and make some money. Now, they're talking about the crime and stuff in front of their house. Man, Oak Street, I used to go kick it by Tulane when I was 21, 23. You can catch them shooting up, snorting, smoking everything around there.
Mr. Cole, please keep it to Broad Street.
And wait, I'm talking about that this is a problem everywhere in New Orleans, Jared. Don't play with me.
It's
the French Quarter, they shooting up, snorting everywhere, smoking. So we're not going to come focus on my corner. My little corner where I was great-grandmother in. My grandmother scrubbed floors, my great-grandmother, for me to own where I live 200 feet from this corner that we discussing with these Europeans. Go the fuck home. And we willing to die. We willing to die.
Sir,
so I'm letting you know, we willing to die.
Mr. Cole, it's time to go. Thank you, sir.
You can't cuss in America?
Sir, you're out of order.
You have to grab me. Why you grabbing me? Why you grabbing me? Why are you grabbing me? What? I'm going. Don't grab me, please. Don't. I am. But you never asked me to leave. You just grabbed. Don't grab. Don't grab. That's all I'm asking. Because I'm handicapped. Don't grab. That's all I'm asking.
Miss Dimitri Haynes.
No fucking
Sir.
straight up.
Miss Dimitri Haynes.
Do we have another speaker who would like to direct their comments to the council?
Reminder that the cards are limited to 5 on each side. June Marshall.
This isn't, so we have 4 more.
Miss Marshall.
No, I'm Ms. Teamer.
Ms. Teamer.
But you said the cards are limited, so can I speak now, or do I need to wait until they're called in a certain order?
If Miss Haynes or Mr. Jeffrey Frashard or Miss Harris would like to cede to you, that's
Miss Elise, she's going to cede to me. Say your name, stand up and say it.
Yeah, will you please let us know who's seating?
Harris. Elise Harrison will cede her time to me.
All right.
2. And then who else?
I will. Go ahead. Who else is going to cede their time?
Well, I thought it was depending on what names
All right.
were called already. No?
No, go ahead.
Okay,
You have
it's fine.
2.5, 2.5. 5.
Good morning. My name is Cherie Teamer. My address is 2661 Gravier Street. I'm the attorney representing Brandys in her conditional use application for extended hours of 2 a.m. on the weekdays and 4 a.m. on the weekends. In light of the council members' motion, I would also ask that we could adopt the City Planning Commission staff's recommendation of 2 a.m. during the weekdays, 2 a.m. during the weekends, and midnight during the weekdays. I know that we have a limited number of time and number of speakers that can speak today, but I wanted to highlight that Brandy has over 150 signatures that she's received, and then just last night in her restaurant, she got over 100 more signatures in support. It's very clear that the opposition is extremely vocal right now, but they're a vocal minority. Brandy has gotten support from the 7th Ward Neighborhood Association. The president of the Havana Place Neighborhood Association came and spoke at the City Planning Commission meeting. He's unable to be here right now because he's being hospitalized. Also, the president of the Triangle Neighborhood Association has come and said that she's also in support. I know procedurally the City Planning Commission moved this matter forward with no legal majority, but with that being said, there was a majority of the members present. The staff recommended approval of a modified extended hours, and Brandy agrees with all the recommendations and provisos that have been put as part of this project. Specifically, the security plan, the trash plan. Brandy is working with Mr. Julius from the Prime Example and the owner of the Showcase to make sure that she can help support the community and not detract from it. The area where Brandy's is located has been historically a corridor with entertainment well into the evening. And this request is commensurate with the neighborhood's use, and I ask that you approve her application according to the recommendation by the city planning staff. Thank you.
Ms. Teamer, I have some questions first. It seems like the neighbors have said that the time that Councilmember Brissett is a compromise, that's much more palatable to them. I'm also interested in the provisos, specifically trash, noise, security, crime, because that's something we've heard repeatedly from all of the neighbors, and we want to make sure that you talk some more about what the provisos are and then how Brandy's is going to adhere to those.
First, I want to thank Councilmember Brissett for his recommendation and his compromise. And I agree that we can really find a middle ground on this project. I think that the only thing is the 10 p.m. and midnight, being the weekdays and the weekends, is basically what she can have by right now. She can have 10 p.m. as a restaurant. If she could get 2 a.m. or midnight, even on the weekdays. I mean, she's literally up against every other person. The Prime Example closes at 3 and 4 a.m. The showcase closes at 4 a.m. And she's really going to be providing an additional service to the neighborhood as a restaurant.
Ms. Teamer, I appreciate that. I'm really asking about the provisos, though.
Right, specifically.
Yes,
and in
thank
order
you.
for, Brandy agrees with coming up with a security plan. She's already met with soundproofing to make sure that her place is not adding additional noise. She already has people picking up trash in the mornings and the evenings before she starts and after she's done. They're even going into the neutral ground. So, I think the opposition is a little misguided in putting whatever stressors they see only on Brandy's, but even she's willing to work with, and she's talked to the other owners about making sure that we put those plans in place.
And they'll be seeing those plans in short order, Ms.
Right,
Teamer?
yes, council member, because specifically in order for her to get these permits, she has to submit those plans.
Councilmember Banks.
Is she okay with security cameras?
Yes. And I think that that's also, I can't remember everything in this very thick report off the top of my head, but that's required.
Thank you, Ms. Teamer.
And Ms. Teamer, it's correct, y'all don't have live entertainment right now.
No.
That's what you're applying for.
Yes. Thank you.
Wait, I'm sorry. Y'all already have live entertainment.
No, we
You don't have the
not.
permit, but you do live entertainment.
No.
You never do live
No.
entertainment?
No, she does not. Brandy?
Oh, I'm sorry, because I've received a lot of emails in my office that said that there was live entertainment. No?
No, she does not have live entertainment.
All right, thank you. All right,
That's not-
Ms.
that's
June
incorrect.
Marshall, thank you.
Wait. Everybody, please. We've had an outburst already, and I appreciate the fact this is an emotional issue, and we know that there's contrary information, okay? So please try and limit the comments. We understand that there's a disagreement about this, and I will say, for the record, the council members have received information that there's been live entertainment. So we're aware of that, and we know about it, so thank you for letting us know, but try and take some of the temperature out of this, and for further comment, we're going to try and limit. I think, Councilmember Brissett, there are two more people who can speak in support of this.
June Marshall in support, and then followed by Jeffrey Forsyth. And while Ms. Marshall comes to the mic, I'll put on a record cards in support: Stephen Kennedy, Ethan Alstad, Jerome Morgan, Milton Williams, Brandy Baham, Tiffany Powell, Major Tracy Raleigh, and Deborah Davenport. Ms. Marshall?
Yes, hi. My name is June Marshall. I live at 2449 General Collins Avenue, New Orleans. And I'm here in support of Brandy's. In fact, I think Brandy is an asset to that neighborhood. I personally go there in the afternoon. It's really a community place. It's a meeting place for neighbors. People come in and get a home-cooked meal. She has really good food there. You guys should come and try it, really. And I just don't understand why here she's a single woman trying to have a business, and she's being knocked. And rather than you guys supporting her, I don't feel like, you're giving her a fair shot. That corner historically is a corner of entertainment, music, and food. That's what happens on St. Bernard and Broad. Everyone who's from New Orleans knows that. And we're just that was already a conditional use building. It wasn't until Katrina, and if you ask me, I think it fell through the cracks. It should still be a conditional use building. Now we have a set of people that's moved in who are not interested in being friendly neighbors. This neighborhood has lived together and worked together as long as I've known them. Now we have a person that's come in. He's having Section 8 people kicked out. Everything we do nothing is good enough for them. They're not trying to be a part of us. They didn't come in here to be a neighborhood. They're the opposite. If you have the problem, I think it's them. It's not us. We live together. That's what we do. That's what people in New Orleans do. We have and always will live together. We don't have a problem with Section 8 people. They don't bother us. They're people who need a home to live and maybe need a little hand up. That's it. As painting that corner as the worst corner in the neighborhood, no, it's not. That's not the case either. We don't have crime rampant in that neighborhood. That's not true. Anything that happened, he wants to blame it that it came from Brandy. That's not true. And I really need you guys to look at the situation. You have people who have invested 60 years of living here, 50, 40 years of living here, and somebody come here for
30
2
more
years.
seconds, ma'am.
Okay, who come here for 2 years and get to knock everything that we want in our neighborhoods. That's our neighborhood. It always has been, and I really would ask you guys to honor what Brandy is asking for. She's asking for the conditional use. Prime example and showcase stay open 2 a.m., 3 a.m., 4 a.m., 5 a.m. Why
10 more
can't
seconds.
she have entertainment there and have reasonable hours to make money? Reasonable hours is 12 during the week and 2 a.m.
All right, ma'am. Your time
Okay.
is up. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Ms. Marshall.
welcome.
Again, I want to reiterate, this motion is being approved at the request of the applicant, and she is getting live entertainment, and the hours are from Thursday to Saturday from 12 to 12. Mr. Jeffrey Forsyth, last speaker.
Yes, I'm going to cede my time to Miss Brandy, the operator.
Well, she can only speak for 2.5 minutes because this is the last speaker. So you have 2.5 minutes, ma'am.
Ms. Brandy?
Thank you.
Good afternoon, council members. My name is Brandy Bayham, and my business is located at 2005 North Broad. I am the owner and operator of Brandy's Restaurant. I've operated Brandy's for 9 months, but worked in the restaurant and bar industry since I was pretty young. In fact, one of my first jobs was working in the Prime Example, which is located very close. I am a lifelong resident of this area, and I've known many of the people in this community pretty much all of my life. My vision for Brandy's Restaurant is to be a place for people in the community to hold special events and get a late-night dinner or breakfast in a safe, clean, and comfortable environment. Historically, the location has been open late at night, and the surrounding establishments have continued this tradition, and they have been supported by the community. I have read the city planning staff report, and I agree to abide by all of the provisos in the report. I'm here today to ask you to support my application for conditional use so that I may keep my business open until a compromise. I asked for 2 a.m., but I'm willing to compromise. 2 a.m. on the weekdays and 4 a.m. on the weekends. Just to give you a little idea, the other businesses in the area really don't have a time limit, and the stores stay open. The corner stores are open 24 hours pretty much, and as a fast food restaurant that stays open pretty much 24 hours as well. So, just to give you an idea. Also, historically, it's been proven to work that way with the restaurant as well as with the bar.
30 more seconds, ma'am.
Okay. And so I really hope that I have a fighting chance to make this business a successful business. Like I said, I was asking for 2 a.m. on the weekends and 4 a.m. on the weekdays. 2 a.m. on the weekdays and 4 a.m. on the weekends. Whatever the compromise has to be, I have to abide by it. But I ask that you please support me and really try to give me a fighting chance.
Thank you,
Thanks a
ma'am.
lot.
Thank you, Ms. Bayham. Again, I want to reiterate the cards in support. Stephen Kennedy, Ethan Elstad, Jerome Morgan, Milton Williams, Brandy Bayham, Tiffany Powell, Major Tracy Riley, and Deborah Davenport. All right, it's been moved by myself, seconded by Councilmember Banks. Members, please vote your machines. 5 yeas, no nays, the motion is approved. As amended.